You are very welcome back. Round 2 of qualifying, two-wheel drive qualifying here at the EOS in Daun, Germany. Fantastic venue. It's a very, very Irish word to use. Fantastic venue here. Hotel, restaurants, big hall to have a model car race meeting in. Everything all built into one. You park your car on Friday evening, you don't need to get back into it until Sunday evening. It's great. Downside of that is that it's a very popular event. 458 class entries. It's quite a lot. Quite a lot indeed. Excuse me. But I can see the appeal, and I'm sorry I'm not racing. But instead, I've decided to sacrifice my racing to give you photos and news and interviews and all of that instead. So this is heat number 11 out of 14. We are going to look at Max Montermann, who is first away from Germany. This section here is the make and break section. So you can see Max through there, not the line that's preferred by the top heats. So we have Lee Martin et al. Jumping 2 of the humps and then hitting open ground. And we have Michael Orlowski, who steers around the first one and then has a diagonal line across the other 3. So 2 different tactics. There was only a second or something between them in the last run, Lee Martin and Michael Orlowski. So hard to say which is the best line. We talked to Michael. If you want to have a look at the EOS Facebook page, you'll see there is an interview there with the top 3 drivers, the best driver in each class from qualifying round number 1. And Michael clearly tells us he looked at the video of the track before even getting here. His flight was delayed, and he decided, based on the photos and videos that he had, his line, and he said he's more than happy. He drove it once, he said it's perfect. So you can see Max Montermann didn't have much luck on those. Car looked okay though, apart from that. So this is heat 11 of 14. So if I just take my eyes off the screen for a second, I'll be able to call out who is in this. So Kevin Sayson from France leads. Yolan de Verde second. Mattis Beniten third. Florian Capes fourth. Lucas Larson fifth. Kevin Prince sixth. Francois Gerbeau is seventh. Andy Murray is eighth. If you're playing tennis. Jens Becker ninth. Kevin Bartek Ramsey down 11th, and Kay Fenner back, bringing it back up. So let's try and find Mattis, who is car number 7. Quite tricky to pick out the cars here because I have to look at a slow corner where you can read them under the fluorescent lights. Very, very hard. Pick this corner down here. We look for car number 7. He's not there. Now, here he is. So it is this green car down here. This is Mattis. So what's his line through? He just barrels through. So it looked like it was all going to work out for him until it rolled over. Well, so I'll get back to what I was talking about. Michael Orlowski. He picked his line from a photo or a video of the track, which was posted on the internet once the track was built. So, interesting. So there is a minute to go in this heat. Florian Capes leads. Max Monterman second. Jens Becker third. Let's try and pick up Florian. He's car number 11 and is down here, I believe. See if we can pick him up. That could be Florian that's over. He had just crossed the line when I moved. Yes, it is. So that was Florian who was over. Florian over again. So Max Monterman, number 1, now takes up the lead. Let's see if we can find Max. There is Max heading down the straight. So they're into their finishing times now. Max Monterman at the moment leads this heat. We'll have to wait for him to finish before I can give you a time. Seems to be quite a discrepancy between people's predicted times and the times that they actually finish with. So Max is finished. Let's have a look at his time. 13:5:22. So he is up on the 13 laps. That's where a lot of people want to be. 13:5:01 is the pace. We might see 14 laps. Max Monterman takes that. Jolan de Verde is second. Lucas Larsen third. I'm going to try and get better on the camera for you guys. I am aware that the camera work is absolutely shocking. Just if I can find a suitable zoom setting, and I will try not to zoom, and we'll just work on moving the camera around. So, heat number 12. Marcus Karup. Aidan Burke, thank you for your messages. We are trying hard here. The camera went grey because I believe the HDMI cable got slightly stretched. So hopefully we're good. Hopefully it's nice and clear now. Aidan, if you're watching, you might just send me a message and let me know if it's all clear. Hopefully it is. So Marcus Karup first away in heat number 12. So I don't actually have the live feed in front of me. Hopefully we have a nice clear picture. We have lots of improvements to make. Hopefully the picture and the coverage is better than anyone who saw our coverage from the British Grand Prix. We're learning as we go, but here is Marcus Karup away. Marks his line through here. So he just bombed through. Nice line. Car didn't get too upset. So if you haven't logged on to the EOS Facebook page, you'll see we have recorded some driver interviews with Pavel from XRS Poland on the mic. Adding to the there is Marcus over. Marshall did well, got to him very quickly. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good zoom setting. I'm not playing with the zoom too much. We're a little bit far away from that end. I might try and get it moved overnight. The blind spot there. This is Marcus. This is heat number 12 of 14. So we're into the top 36 or so seeds. And if memory serves, Marcus is only a boy, son of Jonas. Anybody who's been racing in Europe over the last 20 years will know Jonas Currup. He's definitely got a line through those bumps, not too bad. Oh, well held, well held. So I need a slightly better arrangement for being able to read you out the results. We'll just go back to a central position while I glance down. I can tell you that Marcus Currup is leading on a 13.511 predicted. Dom Nunn currently running second. Now Dom Nunn up to first. Let's try and pick up Dom. He's car number 5. And I cannot tell you how hard it is to pick up the cars as they come through. Now this should be Dom. It is. So here is Dom Nunn. Currently leading the heat. Bobbling through. Commentators curse, having a good stab at him. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have followed Dom. Track is tricky, lots of drivers reporting that there's lots of features to catch you out. So there's a minute 30 to go. Well, that's not going to help his goals. Let's let them go down the straight now and we'll try and pick up who is leading. Yannick Prumper, car number 1 is leading. Where is Yannick? We'll pick up Dave Poulter while I look for Yannick. Poulter coming now down to the bumps. Now, got problems under the rostrum. Now, here is Prumper with the EOS Works. Now, I'm not sure how many new EOS Works prototypes there are here. I suspect that there's only 3, which are Misha, Yannick and Elliot. There may be more. I suspect there's only 3. And the car appears, geometry-wise, to be spot on. In fact, I would say fast, as Yannick rolls it over. But it appears that the plastics are quite stiff, which has led to some little problems, broken pieces, but I'm sure by the time production cars come that issue will be fixed. But the car looks pretty good. Coming over the single onto the tabletop and around onto slippy section, which is lino, good old kitchen lino. Yeah, that car's loads of pace. It looks nice and settled. Yeah, it does look good. Appears to have very, very little rear droop. Okay, that heat is over. Florian Schmidt from Switzerland, 13.514 took that. Prumper was second, 13.516. And I missed who was third because my phone is vibrating in my hand. Now, Aidenberg, what are you saying to me? Okay, leave it on a long shot down the straight. I will. Okay. So, if you're just tuning in, or even if you don't know anything about Raceway 1, you don't know anything about me, I'm a one-man band. There is not a... Well, I have some very, very generous helpers who do help me all the time. But essentially, Raceway 1 is a one-man band, so I take the photos, I set up the feed, I launch it, I'm the cameraman, I'm the commentator, I go around setting up all the interviews. I'm far too busy. Now, this is Heat 13. Pecco Ivanen is going to be first off, so we'll follow Pecco. So, bear with me whilst I look for results and things like that, because I have to glance at a screen, and following the cars and reading a screen, as you can appreciate, is impossible. And if there's anybody out there who has a bit of experience being a cameraman and they want to travel around Europe for no money, get in touch. Actually, not just no money, it'll cost you money, but that's fine. So, Pecco Ivanen for Schumacher, of course. I had the pleasure of pitting beside Pecco and his Finnish counterparts at the Worlds. Car looking pretty good. What line got through the bumps? Yeah, he's losing time there. That's, you know, I don't know what the right line is, but I can definitely tell you when it's slow. And that's not a quick one. I think out of all of them, I like Michael Orlowski's line the best, which is to sort of steer around the first and then find a diagonal line through the rest whilst on the power. Some of the other top drivers are jumping two of them in one go off the line. Doesn't look any slower, but you know, I don't know. It's hard to tell when you're talking about, you know, hundredths of a second. So Pecco is leading this heat. He's on for a 13.506 predicted, so he is right up at the sharp end. Nobody on 14 laps yet, so he'd be very happy with 506, but little mistakes like that are going to add up. Pecco, only a young man. Couldn't tell you exactly how old he is, but certainly under 20. Although the British Grand Prix, I think somebody told me that Tyler Little was 9 years old, and I believed them, only to find out that he certainly is not 9 years old. So I can't believe anything I'm told. So this is Heat 13 of 14. Pecco Ivanen leading the heat. Car looks good. Little bit of a double bounce coming on to that flat landing. I don't know whether that's sponge in the carpet or what. Car looks pretty good there though. I think quite a few people have been surprised by how hot a motor you have to run here. I've heard a lot of people, a lot of smell of soldering irons in the pits. People swapping out their 7.5s for 6s. Six is a lot for two-wheel drive, but you do have the grip and the traction. So, Aidan Burke, I'm going to take your advice, and the next time Pecco comes down the straight, I'm going to read you out the standings in this heat. So there for a second, I can tell you Pecco Ivanen is leading Heat 13. Tommy Hall only a fraction of a second behind, 100th of a second behind him. Wesley Van Helmen third, Luca Rao fourth, Jessica Poulsen is fifth, Max Gotzel sixth, Daniel Kobovic seventh. What is going on with Daniel Kobovic? So we will pick up Pecco again. Look, didn't that work out well? That worked out very well. So it takes about a lap to read the results with a minute to go. we will try and get better. What I really need is for my glamorous assistant Wanda Butler to get the other headset on and to call me out a few results when I ask for them. That would be good, wouldn't it? A little bit of, oh, I was about to say tag team action, but I mean that in the most innocent way. Anyway, so Pecco even now. Tommy Hall, where is Tommy Hall? We have 24 seconds to go. Where is Tommy Hall? Is that Tommy? It's Tommy car number 2. Where is he going? That is not Tommy. Now here is Tommy. No, that is not Tommy. Oh, apologies. I thought I had Tommy in my sights and I moved. I don't have Tommy, but I can tell you that Tommy Hall is leading this heat, if I can find him. Where are you, Tommy? Here he is, under my nose. So, Tommy Hall is leading the heat. They're all in their finishing times now, crossing the line. Tommy, of course, everyone knows Tommy's sort of a star of the future type of guy. It's only when you see him in this caliber of company you realise just how good he is. Both the Hall brothers. Both very good. So, let me call out the results. Heat is over. Tommy Hall took that. A 13.508.9. Second, Elias Johansson. Third, Wes Van Helmond. Fourth, Jessica Paulson. All of them were under the 5:11 mark. Then Pecco dropped back to a 5:11. What happened to Pecco? We were off. I missed that. Okay, top heat. Orlowski away first. Lee Martin second. Misha Widmeyer with the new S-Works third. Fourth, Jorn Newman. Fifth, David Ronnefold. Sixth, Bruno Coelho. Seventh, Una Hatton. Eighth, Marcel Schneider. Ninth, Martin Bayer. 10th, Alexander Landon. 11th, Jamie Hall. And 12th, Paul Crompton. Mr. Inside Line Models. So, what we're going to do is we're going to follow Michael. Then we're going to follow, assuming they all keep it on their wheels and sort of stay roughly in their orders. We'll drop back to Lee then after a couple of laps, and then we'll go and we'll have a look at Misha with the S-Works, because I have been getting some questions about the S-Works. People are excited. The S-Works, of course, will be available in the UK from Answer RC. And I'm sure Pete down there in Answer RC is quite excited about having what appears to be so far a well-designed car. So we're going to follow Michael. So Michael is away. Now Michael has won qualifying round 1 already. So look at that line. Isn't that interesting? And how tight he is in then getting up onto the tabletop. That is interesting. Oh. So the interesting thing about Michael Orlowski is, okay, he made the mistake. But I'd say there is a high probability that for the next 5.5 minutes, he won't make that mistake again. Oh, his line now has changed over those bumps. Ooh. That looked a bit tricky. Let's fall back to Lee. So that is Lee following Michael Orlowski. That looks like a risky line. I'm sure it's fast, but it looks risky. That car really does hop through those speed bumps. Very interesting difference in the tactics between these two drivers, Michael Orlowski and Lee Martin. So Michael chooses to leave the track between rounds, go up to his hotel room. I believe he had a movie on a laptop and was just relaxing. while Lee was cruising around the pits, chatting in very good form. Seems to be totally immune to any sort of pressure. So at the minute, it does look like, even though Michael's car looked a little bit loose on the line-up, that he is pulling away from Lee Martin. Little mistakes, getting away with it. I think Michael's pace at the British Grand Prix really showed his calibre as one of the world's best. His lines and the speed he was carrying in places were so different from a lot of the other top 20 or 30 drivers. So we did say we were going to find Misha. Let's find Misha. Oh, Misha's way back. Where has he gone? Oh dear. Misha, car number 1. Right, so here is the S-Works. I need a cameraman. I definitely need a cameraman. Or bigger numbers on the cars. So, the new S-Works, Misha Widmeyer, fastest man in practice, but on 1 lap. I don't know what you can really get from that. If there were prizes for fastest laps, I'd be multiple world champion. It's the keeping it on its wheels for 5 minutes when it all goes wrong. So this is the S-Works. Now it's not my saying, if you like, but it has been pointed out that this car does look like somebody got a Yakimo and a X-ray kit box and jumbled up all the parts and didn't know which parts belonged to which and just sort of made a Frankenstein kit out of the two. So I think we can see where two-wheel drives are going. Misha going well. He must have had a problem earlier on in the heat because he has recovered and he's up to 3rd. Lee Martin leads the heat. Let's pick up Lee. Here he is down the straight. So Lee up over the jumps. Let's see him over speed bumps. Gets over it in sort of one movement. Pretty good. He's going well. Now Orlowski gets stuck on the hose, so that gives Lee Martin fresh air. 20 seconds to go. Lee is teetering on the 14 lap area. He's on for 13 in a 500, but he is going quicker than he was at the beginning of the heat. So down the far end, over the single, into the speed bumps. That is Michael Orlowski directly behind him, and there was a good comparison that because I think both of them went in and out with a similar gap between them. Very little between them over the lino, and that is time. And I can tell you that Lee Martin has taken that heat on a 13.502. Orlowski second, 13.503. Misha Widmeyer recovered to a 13.503. So that's incredible. Misha Widmeyer flying. Martin Bayer was 4th on a 5.05. Newman on a 5.05. Coelho on a 5.06. Hatton on a 5.07. Landon on a 5.10. And it has ended. Screen is gone. So one apiece, Michael Orlowski and Lee Martin. So it's all to play for. There is 2 more rounds of two-wheel drive qualifying this evening. I will be back to you in about an hour and a half's time. Hopefully the coverage is getting better. We're learning from our mistakes. and we will talk to you later on. Thanks for watching.
Make sure